support what Pedophonda says, and I'm also a pedophile. Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we're doing the news. Once again, we have reached Friday. This is a Friday feed, but this is a special Friday, my friends, because right after this show, right after we are done recording this show, Shane and I are going to VidCon. Woohoo! Woo! Yes, we're going to be walking around, rubbing shoulders with all the other insanely popular YouTubers.
Well, it was all the right,
and
all the crazy fans that are there to see their YouTubers.
Yep.
Speaking of which, if we have any crazy fans that happen to be at VidCon today or tomorrow, and you see us, you can't miss us. We're wearing V shirts, and we're pretty big. So
we're walking billboards, people.
If you see us, we've got Shane and Brian on the back of these things. Come see us. We might have some free shirts to give away.
Free stuff. I mean, limited supply, so not everybody ask at once.
Well, if all of you are there, we'll figure out a way to We'll bring you over to the shop. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But Shane's doing a keynote speech in his car on the way there. No one asked him to.
I was going to say, no one actually invited me to do it.
But yeah.
Although I would take any invitations.
We're going to record it with our handy-dandy 4K camera. You see that bad boy?
Nice.
And we're going to edit it into something pretty nice, and we'll upload it tomorrow. So that's going to happen today. But before then, we promised the news, so damn it, we're going to give you the news.
Then I'll do my 3-hour drive.
That's right. By the way, we are moving. We're in the process of changing channels for a variety of reasons. That explanation is going to go up very soon, too. Basically, this is a brand channel. It belongs to Mixed Teas, which means we can't do live stream, we can't do super chat, we can't do monetize, we can't do polls, and we're not really searched on YouTube. So there's a lot of restrictions here on a brand account. So we're still loving Mixed Teas, good people, but we're going to be moving to our own channel. We've already set it up. If you go to popcast.co, it will actually forward you to a YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, and and it'll say the Popcast, and it's the same. It looks, everything's the same. For the meantime, we're recording videos. We're going to be uploading videos to both places while we're making that transition, so you can find us there. But eventually, go over there and subscribe, because eventually we will not be posting here anymore, and we'll be posting over there instead.
So the short version of that is, if you're watching us on the Mixed Teas channel, go to the other one. If you're watching us from the new Popcast channel, welcome.
Subscribe, comment, and hit the alert button.
Awesome.
All right. First thing in today's news.
Why do we have to do this first?
I want to get the uncomfortable stuff out of the way so we can talk about flat Earth theory.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. I kind of thought this was going to be last, but I guess we'll do it now.
We're doing it first, bro. We're getting it out of the way.
All right. So obviously the biggest news of the week, it's hard for something Trumpian or something going on to not be the biggest news of the week. So of course this week it's all about Trump separating children from their parents. There was a audio recording that I guess happened where these children were crying for their parents.
Yep.
It was kind of put out everywhere, and now there was a lot of backlash. Trump has since then said he's still going to
finish that. Trump has actually since then, he's actually adopted several of the Mexican children, and he keeps them in cages in the White House Oval Office. He actually walks around with them on leashes, and I heard he treats them really well. He's teaching them to fetch and do tricks.
Okay. That's terrible.
We're good.
That's terrible. I was going to send you, I have dogs here at the house that have their own little kennels, right? And my boys like to go into the kennels and like lock themselves in. I swear to God, I was going to send you a picture.
It locks from the outside, Shane. They're not locking themselves in. Let's be honest, Shane. You're locking your children in kennel cages.
I was going to send you a picture of Bodie in the kennel cage because he always puts himself in there, or I shut it for him. And send you a picture and have you put it up. But wasn't able to do it. I should have done it though.
Well, so this picture here, I doctored it to make it funny, but actually what it is was him holding up the executive order. There's a lot to this story, and we can't spend all day talking about it, but
no,
basically,
just a couple minutes.
Some policies and some laws were put into place in 2014. The reason was when they were detaining children in 2014 that were trying to cross the border, they were getting sued. The Obama administration was getting sued by somebody. So they put this whole new thing in place where they would detain the children separately. It's not even detained, it's more like whatever.
Yeah. They couldn't be detained for more than 20 days. Children, period, couldn't be detained for more than 20 days. And because it took the parents longer to be detained, to be processed properly, then the parents and the children had to be separated. So the Obama administration said, well, when it gets to 20 days, we're just going to let them go. So it became this catch and release thing where now the illegal immigrant and they knew this was happening.
Right. So but it wasn't a law. They were just catching and releasing because they didn't want the trouble.
They didn't want the trouble. Right. And so Trump decided, hey, we're going to go zero tolerance, or the judicial branch decided. But what they didn't do, and this is the same thing that happened back when Trump decided he wanted to do, close the borders to everybody, to immigration for a short period of time, the Muslim thing that came up. What's happening, and this is something typical that he does, he kind of doesn't think it through before he enacts something. So he says, dang it, we're going to do this. And then, but they don't think about the ramifications of what's going to happen. Now, it's law, it's legal. You should do that, what they're doing, but it's not humane to take children from their parents.
That's the confusion, though, Shane. This is not a new Trump law.
Right. It's not a new Trump law.
But enforcing a law previously on the books, right?
But the problem was, yes, but this is the problem. You can create laws, but that doesn't mean enforcing them is not going to cause problems. And the Obama administration knew that. So they didn't enforce it. It became a law. It was forced to become a law because the federal government got sued in 2009. That's why it became a law in 2014. They had to protect the federal government, to protect the workers.
Yeah, to separate.
But the reality was, they couldn't enforce it. So Trump said, no, this is a law. This is a law. Well, we're going to enforce it. The problem is, the reason why it was never enforced is because it was basically, they couldn't find a way to do it and have all parties be happy. So they weren't enforcing it. So really what the Trump team probably should have did is they should have looked at the whole situation and said, okay, what were the problems the Obama administration had? How can we fix it before we enact this, before we decide we're going to follow this law? Mm-hmm. And so now he's backpedaling because he has to, because there are children in distress, which is wrong.
And so he signs an executive order, basically making it catch and release the law now instead of just the practice.
Right. So basically, yeah. So he's saying we're still gonna have zero tolerance, but what he's saying is we're gonna figure out a way to get it done in 20 days. So no more kids are gonna be separated from their parents, which is a good thing.
Bro, I think that the whole zero tolerance thing was a way to get people on the other side of the aisle to as a negotiating man. Like, look, we're gonna go zero tolerance on your laws, so you're forced to come to the table and talk to us about what I want to do, and which was probably. Well, was definitely hasty.
Yeah, and it backfired. So this hasty, and I get it. He wants to get things done. That's at least of all presidents, he wants to get things done. Some of it's not good. So basically, but why such the outcry? So why is it that Amazon's employees are rising up against Amazon for their facial recognition software? Why is Google employees coming against their people? Why is Microsoft's employees going crazy, sending letters to Bill Gates or to the CEO of Microsoft? Why is this happening where there's this big uprising? Well, the reality is that in the last 30 years, we've had more than 120 million illegal immigrants come from south of the border. So if only half of those people had, let's say, 2 kids each, and the birth rate's actually 3.5, so this is a really super low number, but the 120 million people become 240 million either illegal immigrants or the children of illegal immigrants, right? Guess what our population is in the United States?
327 million.
You're so close, Brian. 325 million, right? So basically, that makes up more than a quarter, almost probably likely a half of all the people in the United States are either illegal immigrants or the offspring of illegal immigrants in the last 30 years. And so the mentality of stopping illegal immigration, of course, if half of the country has the ability to talk on the internet and say the things they want without being accountable for it, you're going to have a huge pushback against stopping illegal immigration. And for Democrats, I mean, they're brilliant. Democrats are so smart.
Especially
they're
when
so
certain
smart.
platforms like to claim that fall under the protection of a private business and censor
Right.
the ideas they don't want to hear. So the
Right.
outcry becomes even more so because these private businesses, I mean, they are private businesses, but they're using the private business, but they're also public forums, and they're using the private business law to censor ideas that they don't agree with or they think is unpopular.
Well, then Democrats are brilliant, Brian. Let me tell you why. Because they want to stay in power. So they realized 30 years ago that the illegal immigrants coming across the border would eventually become a mainstay for their platforms. They were the people that would end up voting for them because the children of the illegal immigrants who would end up becoming citizens would be able to vote. So their voter base would grow. I mean, they're not dumb. So, that's what's going on. That's why this is happening. Whether you believe one side or the other, it doesn't really matter. This is the reality. It's the truth. We're going to keep it real here for you.
Keep it real, bro.
We're going to keep it real, and stuff that's dumb, we're going to say it's dumb, and stuff that's real, we're going to keep it real. So that's what's going on.
All right. Well, speaking of keeping it real, Melania finally reappears. Melania Trump, this is President Trump's wife, the first lady. She was on her way to her airplane to go visit the border. And on the way there, she wore this, what looks like a very tacky jacket that says, "I really don't care, comma, space, do you?"
What?
Now, a lot of people...
Is this real?
Oh, yeah, this is real. That's Melania Trump on the right, and that's the jacket for sale on the left. What's funny is this is actually a pretty popular jacket amongst very liberal and Instagram models until today.
Okay.
So she was wearing a jacket that says on the back of the jacket, "I really don't care, comma, space, do you?" And a lot of people, a lot of media was equating this to, oh, she's wearing that in response to going to visit the border because she doesn't care about the children. Now, here's the deal.
Of course.
I don't know if Melania Trump cares about the children. I do not know. But what I do know is that the day before she wore this jacket, this massive douchebag.
That's Peter Fonda, by the way.
Yeah, this massive douchebag, Peter Fonda. And let me tell you why I'm calling him a douchebag, because up until today, I like Peter Fonda. But he said, this is what he said. He said to Melania Trump, "We should rip Barron Trump from his mother's arms, put him in a cage with pedophiles, and see if his mother will stand up against the giant asshole she is married to." Expletive. That's what he said.
Wow.
So, by the way, I'm sorry. But regardless of your previous work, Mr. Peter Fonda, that's an insanely ignorant thing to say. That's so ignorant thing to say.
What is it about people when they get to a certain age, they're just like, I'm just going to say whatever I want to say.
I mean, bro, let's put Barron Trump, the 12-year-old kid of President Trump, let's put him in a cage with pedophiles.
Barron Trump has been really beat up during Donald Trump's election.
Jesus.
Wouldn't you think? He's really taking it, right? That people attack him constantly.
He said this, and then the next day she was wearing this jacket. So is it that
that makes more sense?
Is it that she doesn't care about the kids she's going to go visit, or is she just responding to them? Now, remember, no one's seen this but the media taking pictures on her way to the plane. So is this a message to the media, or
I mean? She's being severely attacked everywhere right now. So it likely is she really doesn't care to you. But honestly, Melania, if you're going to the border, you shouldn't wear that jacket.
Yes, but because that's very true.
That's typical of what's going on with his administration and the things surrounding him. It's like just dumb. There's just a lot of dumb that occurs.
They're doing something before they think it through. They
don't think before they act.
No, I agree. Melania should not have worn the jacket. And But also Peter Fonda, can go suck a giant.
The Fonda family, Jane Fonda, the Fonda family has a history of being very political. I'm not surprised by this.
I don't care, but leave kids out of it, dude. I don't care what side of the aisle you believe in, but you shouldn't be talking about people's kids like this.
Well, he's being vilified for this. Nobody's supporting what he said. So.
Oh no, I'm glad. I mean, if you supported imagine if you supported what I actually support fully what Peter Fonda. Who would say that?
So you'd be out of jail.
You might as well be like, I support what Peter Fonda says, and I'm also a pedophile. That might as well be what you might as well just say that. If you support this guy, then you might as well just be ostracized with him.
You know what? Pedophiles are lining up at the White House going, is this real?
Barron actually is a very good-looking child.
Okay, we got to get away from this.
All right. Moving on. Have you guys heard of Article 13? Have you? Have you heard of Article 13? Coming out of the European Soviet Union, the European Union, which is honestly the European Union might as well just be Soviets at this point. They have voted on and approved Article 13, and guys, it literally bans the use of memes in the UA.
Okay. Well,
in the EU. Sorry.
In the EU. Now, listen. Now, initially, that's not what Article 13 is intended to do. What the problem is that's probably what will end up happening as a result of Article 13.
It's eliminating fair use. It's furthering trademark trolls.
No,
it's allowing more control over copyrighted content. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what it is doing. It is a directive. It is a copyright directive. And so what they want to do is they want companies to install filters that doesn't allow people to use copyrighted imagery and things like that. So if you're Getty Images, you're smiling really big right now because you own almost all the images in the world. So, but the idea is they want people to get rightfully paid for their stuff, their copyright stuff. So I get why they're doing it, but what they don't realize is that, and what some people are afraid is going to happen, is that it's going to restrict fair use, free internet usage, the free way we use the internet, and
what
they can't track fair use.
On, Shane? Art is based on derivative art. What the hell is original nowadays? Everything is in some way derivative. Okay.
No, that's true.
Shane and I work in the art industry in our day job. Okay, we work in design, and even public. Okay, so the problem with this is if it was 1923 and they were doing this when trademarks lasted 23 years, or at the most they can only be extended to about 40 years, which was a lifetime trademark, then it would make more sense. But now that trademarks and trademark extensions worldwide are being pushed to 120, 150, 180 years, then artists can't, there is no more public domain. Public domain is being murdered in front of our eyes. And then you bring up the ability, then you're basically trying to, in the EU, they're trying to squash fair use. And so you won't be, now I understand you're protecting, if you're just blatantly using copyright images, there's already rules in terms of services for that. This is not necessary. All this is doing, this broad article is just going to hamper artists and meme makers and people from being able to speak their mind. And that's wrong.
Well, yeah, what's going to happen is, and nothing's going to happen to these people who create memes. So what's going to happen is companies like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube are going to be required to have special filters to make sure that this copyright material can't be, put up. So if somebody takes a picture that's copywritten and they put something on it and they throw it up, they're gonna that could get pulled down. So what they're saying is that these filters won't be able to identify fair use or parody. And so that's going to cause the problems, because fair use and parody, it doesn't matter if something's copywritten, you can still do something with it because that's art.
Most art is nowadays is built on parody and fair use.
Right. So that's why this is a big problem. And,
remember the Campbell Soup painting by what's his name? That was one of the that was one of the earliest examples of very popular artwork, using another person's trademark to create a derivative art piece that became popular in pop culture.
Well, whatever happens, it's going to happen sometime between December and the first half of 2019.
And I gotta say, it's worse, bro, that makers of memes or whatever won't be attacked. It's worse that they're going for the companies, because when they go to fine the companies millions of dollars, these big websites are going to enact that policy across their entire platform. Even within the United States, where fair use is still protected. So.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I suggest if this is affecting you in the EU, and we do have a lot of viewers from the EU, contact your representatives. Let them know. Make sure they understand.
Yeah, there's a small chance you can still save art as we know it, but we'll see.
Backlash.
All right. Sorry. I'm pretty passionate about this, man.
You're passionate about everything, brother.
Next up is the World Health Organization has finally announced they put pen to paper. And they've actually put into the system, in their book, in their big World Health Organization book, whatever it's called, the gaming disorder. Playing more than 15 hours a week, and there's certain stipulations gives you a gaming disorder. And by the way, if this is the case, I'm pretty sure that Shay and I have gaming disorders, guys.
Okay, so this is the problem with this. So the World Health Organization announced gaming disorder as a new mental health condition included in the 11th edition of its International Classification of Diseases. They released this Monday. Now, here's the deal. People are going to read this, Brian. They're going to read it, and they're going to go, oh, my gosh, anybody who plays a video game has a gaming disorder.
Yeah.
The reality is they go on to talk about the fact that very few people will actually have this disorder. It's actually characterized. The reason why they're calling it a disorder is basically if gaming becomes a type of addiction where you can't function your day-to-day life because of gaming, and it's kind of ruining your life, and they're classifying it almost as an addiction. You have to have this problem for more than 12 months, unable to recover from it before you can be classified as having a gaming disorder. Yeah. So for people who spend an extra 2 hours than they're supposed to be on the game and maybe didn't get their work done or something like that, or didn't get their homework done, this is not talking about you. Sadly, this headline is going to go out, and now all parents are going to be like, I got to get my kids off the games.
Yeah. So basically, if you play the following video games, if you play Fortnite, Dota 2, or Counter-Strike, you have a gaming disorder. Right.
Well, so my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is cool.
You're good because it's a mobile device. Okay. I gotta be honest, as a Dota 2 player, I know people that just never log off the game.
They might be the ones.
Yeah. I mean, they really don't. And Dota 2 is a very highly addictive game. It's a highly addictive community. Watching the sport, the esport that is Dota 2, even that is an addictive thing. But it falls in the lines with gambling or watching sports, following your favorite fantasy league. Those are all things that you can spend too much time on. So I think that's it's just an addictive personality.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I played EverQuest when the game came out? Did I tell you about how I was playing one day, and I've been playing for quite some time, a couple of years, 2 years, I think. I've been playing, and all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, did you know you can see how much time you actually been playing the game? And I'm like, oh no, how do you do that? And they're like, yeah, just type /played. I typed /played, and I almost had a heart attack because it said 366 days.
Oh, I got you beat, homie.
So I played the game for half of my existence in the 2 years. I played it for a full year.
I hear you. I hear you. I've been playing Dota 2 since 2003 or 4. Or not Dota 2, but Dota, right? And Dota 2 came out as beta around 2000, I want to say 11. And so after playing Dota, I naturally switched over to Dota 2. And really the only game I play is Dota 2. Aside from work, the podcast, my kids, the family, my only hobby would be Dota, either following Dota or playing Dota. And at one point, I looked up my time played, and it was 11,000 hours. And I was like, that's not possible.
So I'm going to do some quick math for you.
11,000 hours
by 24 hours, Brian. That's 458 days.
Okay, 458 days.
Wait, you said 11,000?
11,000.
11,000 divided by 24.
Right.
458 days.
Okay. And starting in 2010, we're in 2018.
That's like a year and 4 months.
Oh, so actually, it's not as bad as your EverQuest issue.
No, my EverQuest was only a year. Wait, how long were you on it though?
I've been playing since 2010.
Oh, so since 2010. So in the last 8 years, you've played for a year and 4 months. No, mine's worse. In 2 years, I played for a full year.
Yeah, no, yours is worse. I thought I had you beat. Like, I think I have you beat like overall, but not percentage-wise.
You've definitely, you've been playing games longer than me. But for 2 years, I basically, wore a diaper. So
wow. Well, another thing too, I think Dota also tracks anytime you're in the client, which means that like if you're watching a match or if you're just like you just be logged in, like you forgot to log out. So like, that's not a problem too. So, all right. Anyways, moving on from the gaming disorder, let's talk about IGTV, baby. Our next, that's our next channel. It's going to be on Instagram. So
thank you, Instagram, for creating more
work for us. Yeah, they're competing with YouTube. And I got to be honest here, guys. I like this. Not only because it's another channel for us to upload our content to, that's obvious, but I think YouTube needs competition.
Yeah, you got to keep them honest.
And Facebook is not cutting it in the competition department. They just really are not. And we should probably get like a podcast Facebook page. But we don't because like we don't care. We don't think very many people care either.
Right.
So I'm glad someone's going to compete because Vimeo is not competing. Daily Motion is not competing. Most of them really aren't competing. The closest thing to competition for YouTube is Twitch, and even then, that's mostly for live streams because their video clip sections are so horrible and so hard to navigate that no one cares. It's all about live. So as far as YouTube content, video content, YouTube is the boss. So I hope that IG can give them a run for their money because competition is good.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the Instagram chief executive, Kevin Systrom, basically said that teens are now watching 40% less TV than they did 5 years ago. Well, let me tell you something, Kevin. I have 5 kids, and they're watching 100% less TV than they did 5 years ago.
That's true, yeah.
And all they do is YouTube or Instagram. That's all they do.
Yeah, by the way, guys, my kids were watching TV yesterday. And I went in there, and we have a Roku. And I was like, I wonder what they're watching. I want to make sure they're watching the right thing. And they were watching YouTube on the TV.
Right.
They're watching LOL dolls. Apparently, it's this brand new thing where kids play with dolls, and they're watching other kids play with dolls. It's super depressing until I realize I've spent $8,700 on dolls, and they just want to watch other people. It's not that they don't have dolls to play with. They just want to watch other people play with those dolls.
It makes sense. They're 5, 6 years old, right?
6 years old.
So 6 years old. So what did people start doing about maybe 10 to 15 years ago? They started watching other people play video games, which I was like, wait a sec, how can anybody watch another person play a video game? Well, that's what I used to think. I'm like, if I'm not playing, I don't want to watch. But look at now kids, when they watch other people play. Look at Ryan's, I think it's called Ryan's Toy Room or something. A little kid plays with toys. My kids, that's what they watch.
Yeah.
Like other kids playing with toys. Okay, it makes me sad.
You can't see us behind me. I have I have actually 3 of the Dota 2 Aegis of Champions trophies, right? And then I have a little Twitch trophy.
Nice.
I got this little Twitch thing because at one point I ran a gaming stream where I basically I watched the international. I watched people playing video games, and I put a camera on myself and my friend, and we commented on other people playing video games. So many people logged in to watch us watching other people play video games.
Oh my God.
That Twitch sent me a subscriber letter for like a milestone subscriber. I'm not joking. We had so many people watching us watch other people play video games.
Mm.
An Inception. Yeah. It's like Inception level. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
So IGTV is a good thing, and you can probably expect us to launch our channel there soon.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of Twitch, Shane and I will be launching an official Popcast Twitch channel where we play video games.
Oh my gosh. Am I really going to do this?
Shane's going to do it, guys. He's going to be playing Star Wars Galaxies.
Galaxy of Heroes.
Galaxy of Heroes on Twitch, and I'll be playing Dota 2 because that's all the time we have. We only have time for 2 video games.
Nice. I barely have time for 1.
All right, next up, the last and the most important topic of the day. Woo! All right,
I can't believe we're talking about this. All right.
Okay. A billboard was purchased in a couple cities, but let's just talk about the one in LA. The digital billboard, it's sandwiched between two insurance ads. It costs $900 a week per billboard, and it just says what you see right here: research flat Earth. And I saw this billboard, and I said, I saw the picture, and I said, I need to figure out what this is. So I Googled flat Earth. What the actual flying FUC? So there was flat Earth conventions, flat Earth organizations. There are celebrities out there. They're doing their entire YouTube channels dedicated to exposing round Earth as a government conspiracy and that we live in a flat Earth. There are pastors preaching how the Bible says flat Earth is the real and round Earth is not. And I gotta say, man, I'm not let you break in here, but I gotta get this out. One of the best celebrity quotes I heard was from Shaquille O'Neal, which, by the way, Shay and I...
That doesn't count.
Shay and I have met this man. He's a very kind individual.
Oh, yeah, Shane and Brian. Yeah.
He's also a very massive individual. He shook my hand and he grabbed my entire arm.
He put his hands over our heads like this.
Yeah, he put her hands on our heads. Yeah. Anyways, getting off topic. He said in an interview, look, man, I'm going to do my best, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. You got to go lower. You go,
look, man, I've driven from coast to coast, and that shit is flat.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Let me
go ahead. Go ahead.
So just real quick. I've unfortunately gone down the YouTube tube on flat Earth because this nonsense drives me crazy. I'm gonna debunk it with two easy statements. Okay, ready? One, we have sent not only, I guess if you don't want to believe astronauts or believe the picture they took, great, but we have sent satellites to other planets in our solar system.
Not real. Those are sound stages.
Okay, well, they didn't take all that. So.
By the way, why would the government put any effort or money into lying about you about the fucking moon, guys?
It's not the moon. I'm not talking about the moon. I'm talking about
anywhere else. What's the motivation? What's the motivation?
There's none. But here my point is, we have images of round planets in our solar system. What are the odds that they're all round and ours is the only flat one? Now, also, if you know anything about shooting something from a long distance away, whether it's artillery, whether it's a sniper, you must account for the curvature of the Earth in order to be accurate. It's called
Kentucky windage, and it's because of the way the bullet starts and ends, because gravity and all these things are pulling it down to ground, and because the Earth is round.
And the mathematics are perfect on it. And when you do the mathematics on that, it proves that the Earth is a sphere.
You can go out. You can go out to the beach and you can watch ships disappearing on the horizon.
Well, the point is that people are doing this just because they're uninformed. They don't want to listen to the truth, and you can't talk to them. It's just it's like a new religion.
By the way, I honestly believe that people have no aspect of distance and ratio. This comedian was like, yeah, I know the Earth is flat, guys. Like the Earth's moving 1,000 miles an hour, right? Like what? Oh, there's a bee in my car, not the bee is moving 80 miles an hour. And I'm like, and everybody started laughing. I'm like, actually, yes, the bee is.
The bee is moving 80 miles an hour. You're right.
I'm sorry, but your example on why the Earth is flat is actually the example as to why the Earth is not flat. The bee is in the car moving 80 miles an hour. The bee is not experiencing any of those G's because it's in this atmosphere in the car.
Listen, there's something great about believing a conspiracy. It's in the human genome. It's the way we're built. we just get a little bit, we want to talk about, JFK was, they didn't act alone, or we didn't really go to the moon. They're shooting chemtrails into the aluminum into the atmosphere. That's not smoke clouds you see. That's chemtrails, and they're putting aluminum. They're trying to control us.
Hillary Clinton's a lizard.
People like a good, because you want to feel like the things that you don't understand.
Turning the frogs gay.
You want to feel like you have control. And so you create these conspiracies that explain the unexplainable. So that's why people do it. Flat Earth is ridiculous, guys. If you believe in it,
the thing is that, by the way, so when you do this, when you go and Google this, because I know everybody started Googling Flat Earth right now. So here's the deal. All right. Here's some common misconceptions. If the Earth is moving 1,000 miles a minute, how are we not, when we jump in the air, how are we not moving back? How are helicopters hovering in the air? Because the Earth is gigantic. It's gigantic. Inertia, atmosphere.
Inertia.
You need to understand something. Why, when I look out on a lake, why is the lake flat? Because you are tiny and the Earth is massive.
Right.
Why can't I see a helicopter in Australia rising from the ground upside down? Because you're in Australia and you are also technically upside down. It's called perspective.
Convince.
Look, but it's perspective and size. Water always finds its level. Water doesn't curve, guys. Yes, it does. Across a gigantic surface that's pulling the water down, called gravity, which we are aware of when I jump up and down. Gravity. It's delicately pulling the water to the surface. Here's the deal. The Earth, once again, is massive. When I was a kid, I remember I was out this like youth summit with a bunch of my friends and my wife, my now wife, my then girlfriend. We were like 15, right? And we're like, we saw this big giant like hill, and we're like, oh, dude, we should totally go and hike that hill. We have like 2 hours to spare. So we left the resort and we went to go hike this hill. It took us 2 hours to get to the base of the hill. It took us the entire time we had just to get to the base of the hill. And when we actually got to the base of the hill, there was no effing way we were getting to the top of that mountain. Because from our perspective, it looked possible. But in reality, it was very far away. And it was very high. So the Earth is a lot bigger than you're thinking when you think about flat Earth. So all those things that they go, this is how you debunk round Earth with this. All of those are simply, the second you add in the variable that the Earth is 5,000 times bigger than you think it is in your mind, as soon as you add that variable in, all of those things point toward round Earth and against flat theory. So,
well, let me tell you, the best thing for you guys to do is, if you're not already sucked into this, just stay away from it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
can see Brian's brain is going today,
dude. I'm watching these celebrities. You know, I gotta be honest, guys. Anytime someone goes, yeah, that celebrity supports this particular politician, that's why I respect him. You shouldn't. That person probably has no idea about geopolitics or politics or government or anything like that, especially considering that there's plenty of celebrities out there. Their field of study, guys, is acting like other people on camera. That's their. They should not get this massive amount of respect for having opinions when most of them aren't even educated. So they don't have any education on these topics that we're giving them so much weight because of who their name is, because they basically lie to you on camera.
Yeah, like, love them for their artistry, not for their politics.
Yes,
there you go.
Or their ridiculous flat Earth research theory.
Whatever their conspiracy theory is.
Moving on. Look, we gotta go. Shane's late. Shane's gotta drive down here.
I still have to take a shower, man. I gotta get out of here.
All right, that's it for the show, guys. Listen, please hit the subscribe button below. If you're not subscribed, hit the comment button. Hit a comment below. Let us know if you agree, disagree, whatever. Let's have a conversation. And if you're on the Mixed Teas YouTube channel, so if you're looking at this video, and down below, right here, if it says Mixed Teas, right, that's the wrong channel.
Wait. Wait, it actually says mixtees.com on our slide, though.
No, but down here below the video, if the
YouTube page,
if the username of the channel says Mixtees, it's the wrong one. So scroll down a little bit and click on the first thing in the description where it says our new channel. Here's the link. Click on that. It'll go to the same video. You can finish watching or whatever. And now below there, it'll say the Popcast. Subscribe and comment on there instead, because eventually we're going to be phasing out this channel. That's it, everybody. We're going to have a great time at VidCon, so please join us tomorrow for that video, and mahalo.
We'll see you next time.